Namaste guys and welcome back to my channel. I am Divya and I make videos book related. So make sure to like, comment and share as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So March was a great month for me if I talk about reading, not other things that are happening around. If I talk only about reading, yes, this was a really great month for me because I have read for a total of 7 books that I usually read in 2 or 3 months of time, mainly because we are all in quarantine, lockdown, and yeah, I had access to some awesome audiobooks that were free, so it also fastened my reading. Also, as March was for Women's Month and I had this readathon going around, that is Women's Read Along, so that also helped me to read more. And yes, so most of these books are going to be from women only. Without any further ado, let's head on to the books that I've read in March. So the first book that I read in March is Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and I had this audiobook from Script. So Coraline is about a girl who had just moved to a different place with her parents, and there she was not exactly feeling good as her parents were always busy and she didn't have anyone to play with. So there was this door in her house that lead to now here, and that would only lead to a brick door. And yeah, her mother also said that this door is of no use, but suddenly at one night she found that this door lead to some other place that is exactly like her own house, her own world, and there she meets her other parents, identical parents just like her and everything like her world. So those parents have this button eyes and everything, and she actually quite liked that place cause she had so much fun there. But thing is that she wanted to come back to her original parents, her birth parents, but her other mother didn't want that, so she kind of kidnapped her parents, original parents. So this is the story of like how she gets her parents back. And I have seen the reviews and seen here so many things about it. It's being said that it is a creepy book, but I didn't feel like that. I felt very like it was very flat for me. It is like three audiobook, and yeah, it just like completed. It completed effortlessly. Yeah, so I didn't like this book that much that I was hoping for as the hype around this book, as Neil Gaiman has narrated this book himself. But yeah, I didn't like this book. Like it was okay read, a children's book, all right, but yeah, it was just an okay read. I didn't feel any creepiness in this book. So the second book that I read for this month, March, is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So again, this book has so much hype around it, and one of my friend of course loved this book, and yes, so many other people actually loved this book, and it already had so many good reviews before it was even released. So, and it is about LGBTQ romance. So I was hoping to read and like get on with it. So fortunately I got this audiobook available on Script, which is again was free for me. So yeah, I kind of heard this book, and like for 4 to 5 hours, as this is exactly, I don't remember, but like 10 to 11 hour long audiobook. But I quite didn't like this book at all. This book is about two main character of ours. That is, one is from America, who is the first son, and the second one is the Prince of Wales, and they meet at this wedding reception or wedding party for Prince of Wales, and they had an incident there which turned into a big global fight kind of thing, as media made that. And this turned out that they had to do this certain things to get back the good look in medias, and they had to like go everywhere together and just things other lovers do. So in this time period, actually the time period where they had to be together, they actually fell in love with each other, and yeah, things started to like go the way the lovers do. And yeah, but the thing is that I found this book quite predictable, as it was like another book with the like, if of course the characters were changed as it was our LGBTQ romance, two guy romance, but I felt that it was more like a normal romance books that are usually like a prince or princess or prince or princess. So I didn't get to read something new in this book, so I was quite not fond of this book. Again, I didn't like this book, and another thing is that it's a romance novel, so maybe that's why. But yeah, it was quite predictable for me, frankly. It was really predictable for me, and after reading 5 or 6 words, I literally wanted to like just end this book. So the other book, the third book that I read for March is the Return of Dragon Queen by Boy. It's the third book in the series of Apollonia Chronicles and one of my most favorite books by Indian authors. So I was looking forward to read this book as soon as it was released, but as I said earlier in my audiobook video, that this book was quite costly in India as it doesn't have a paperback copy, and hardback copy is like really costly. So yeah, I kind of searched this on Script and found it and just heard this book. So even though this was one of the favorite Indian authors, I was not thoroughly satisfied with the conclusion this book had for the whole series. So I was hoping again to read something more as the book goes on, like okay, things are going to happen and everything, but it felt like rushed to me. So the book is about our main character Aurora, who is out there to fight this Morgana the evil, and they get to know that the evil is actually not Morgana but something else in the end of the book, and how she gets to free her parents and other peoples from the clutches of this evil. So I really like the setting of the book. I really love the setting of the book. The structure, the plot itself is really good, gripping, but I really think that this conclusion was rushed and it could have been more stretched a little bit, because sometimes it felt repetitive with the things like she needs to believe herself, she is the round star, she needs to believe herself, and everything was quite repetitive for me. And the romance they had for her and Riffle, cause I was actually love Riffle's character. He's like one of my fictional boyfriends. But the thing is that in this book alone, the feud that they had in between, that the lovers quarrel they had, it felt like why do they have this stupid quarrel going on? Cause simply and straightforwardly they both made the same mistakes, and Riffle is going on around over the Aurora, you did this, and dude, you did the same, and why she needs to apologize again and again for that stupid thing. So I was hoping for this conclusion to be more like something powerful, something action packed, but yeah, it was good, it was okay. So yeah, I liked this book, but I was hoping to really love this book as this is one of my favorite books by Indian authors. So the fourth book that I read, actually heard, again this is an audiobook that I got from Script, is Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life, and it was written by Hector Garcia Francis Morales. So this is book about longevity and happiness of the secrets of Japanese people, and this whole book contains other experiences and the interviews of 100% of people from Japan, old people of Japan, how they have lived such a long life and the utmost satisfaction they have in their life. So as I was reading this book, at first I thought that it is again just another self-help book, because that's why I don't read most of the non-fiction book, because I feel that they have the same content altogether. But as I go on, I again say that in my previous videos, I really like to read people's experiences that they have gathered from other people's also. So I really like that part of the book, but as for the whole book, it seems like the same old concept, the same old thing that happens around. So the another book that I read for March is Rosie Loves Jack by Mel Darwin. So it is again a contemporary romance novel, and I got this copy from US Borneo as a giveaway prize. So this book is about Rosie and Jack, who both are autistic kids, and Rosie has this sweet, cute heart, and while the Jack has a really bad tempered person, he has a really short temper, and this actually leads him to get like as a punishment to get in a hostel, I guess, yeah, kind of hostel that is in Brington. So the thing is that they got separated because of this whole deal that he did, and her parents thought that he was a bad influence on her, so they kind of distanced her from him, and they didn't like show her the postcards that he has wrote for her. And yeah, she suddenly found those postcards in her father's drawer one day, and then she gets to know that her father and mother are actually hiding that from her, and she decided to go on this journey to meet Jack and Brington alone, being an autistic kid. So the thing that I really liked about this book is that the author tried to write what a autistic mind can perceive. Yes, the words are written, jumbled up words are there, and these are written as what an autistic kid would say or think. And I really like that thing. And another thing is that this book is like really sweet, cute romance book. And another thing is also that the book is like how Rosie gets to this journey being an autistic kid and just alone, and faces the troubles, faces the like dangers that were lurking. And yeah, in the end of the book there's a real big danger for her. So even though it is a romance novel, I really liked, not really like, but like yeah, I like this book mainly because it is like a sweet cutesy romance novel. And another thing, like I've never read anything like this concept, autistic kids concept, so I really like that thing also. So another book I read in March is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa Darley Cruz, and this is about Shadow and Caeldon Holt. Caeldon Holt is the kingdom's deadliest assassin who works for a queen, as he is bound by magic and blood oath that her father made with queen. And Shadow is a normal person who belongs to this hunting guild and wants to become a part of it permanently, like a spy or assassin or anything special in that guild. But her mother and her, like the people who cares for her, doesn't want that. They want her to have a normal life just like her mother in the palace. So she kind of goes on loan to rescue Caeldon, and yeah, things happens kind of that, and they got to know something is there, and the twist, the truth is relieved in the end. So yeah, but I really didn't like this book at all. So this book is kind of predictable, super predictable read. And the thing is that it felt not like a fantasy thriller book that I was hoping for. It was more like a historical fiction romance with the same old plot. Yeah, it was like that only. And another thing is that if I could even skip like first half or second half of the book, if I knew like this is this character and this is this character, that's enough. I could just skip to the end and nothing will change. Seriously, nothing will change. The characters were simply like overly written. Like it was written like the author wanted the characters to be courageous, something unique, but that was not the case. They felt like really just same old teenagers to me. As yeah, that's thing. As also I didn't feel any character development for both the main characters. None character development was there for them. So I might read, as I seen that this book is going to be a series. I think a 3-book series, and the second book is coming in later in the year only. So I might read the next book in the series just because I want to know the fate of both of them, Shadow and Caeldon. And another thing is that I got this ARC advanced review copy from PRH International. So if I could get my hands on the next book, then only I'll read the book, because I don't think it's worth buying for me, as I don't like the first book, so why buy the second book? So the last book that I read in the month of March is The Palace of Illusion by Chitra Banerjee Devakaruni. I've already a book review up for this book. I'll put the link here in the description box also if you want to check it. So the book is about Mahabharata, the very ancient popular history of India, and it's being told from the perspective of Draupadi, which I was looking forward to read, as Mahabharata is something dear to me and something really like great Indian history. So this book is just a retelling of Mahabharata. I didn't feel the connection that I was wanting to feel, the character of Draupadi and everything, cause it just felt like a retelling of Mahabharata. It doesn't feel like it was actually written from the perspective of Draupadi, as Draupadi's character is something really powerful, strong female character of our Indian history, and I wanted to read that character other than just narration of the whole Mahabharata. I really didn't feel the connection here. This book was like just a retelling of Mahabharata, that's it. So these were all the 7 books that I read for this month of March, and I'm quite happy with the number, as I have already told I don't usually read this much number. I usually end up reading this much number in 2 or 3 months of time, so it was a good month for me. So do let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these books, what were your thoughts, if they were any different for me or just similar to me, or if you have read another books in the March that you would like to share, just comment in the comment section. So goodbye to the next video.